time, though. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the merchandise page. And, of course, check out the blog section as well. If you're going to miss any part of the show whatsoever, simply head over to youtube.com/Man Hour and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, as we do upload clips each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year over there at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. East Coast time. So if you just want to catch a little section of part of the show, they are up there each and every day. So, guys, I am not flying solo tonight. I got the man, Wayne G, with me tonight. What's going on, Wayne?
What's up? I'm excited to be on the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, normally you come on here in about a half hour to 45 minutes here on Thursdays with That's Debatable. But you know what? We had to bring you on because we have to talk probably the most anticipated matchup ever in the NFL football history. Maybe not history, but this year for sure. Week 4, we have your New England Patriots taking on your old quarterback of Tom Brady. And people have been hyping this up since they found out that Tom Brady's going to Foxborough week 4. You as a Patriots fan and a Brady fan, is this Brady versus Bill type of thing, or is it something else? Like, what are you seeing like about this game?
There's definitely a Brady versus Bill element to it. And I know we try to blow those things out of proportion a lot of times, like, oh, it's, Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes, but they don't guard each other. They don't, one's not playing defense. In this situation, though, we have Bill Belichick developing a defense to play against a guy who grew up practicing against those defenses. Exactly. So it's very much Bill versus Tom. And as a Patriots fan, couldn't be more excited. Glad the game is in Foxborough. I think if it was in Tampa, we wouldn't be getting the same amount of hype. But it's Tom coming home and then hopefully getting his butt kicked. So I mean, like, I'm going to pick games later in the day with pick'emwars.com. But who do you have winning this game? I have the Patriots winning this one by a little bit. I mean, the Bucs are the better team, so I'm not going to try to say, like, oh, the Patriots are better. They're not. Yeah. But I don't think the Bucs are undefeated good. And I think the Patriots' defense, I've been pumping them up since before the season even started, and they just look better every week. Their defense is really strong. Their pass rush is insane, how they get after the quarterback. And their secondary is great. Tom's going to have some trouble because Tom is in an offense now where he's kind of adapted to throwing that deep ball a little bit more, right, and they're not going to give him the time to do it. So does he revert back to short pass Tom, or does he get sacked 6 times? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, so like I said, like just like you said, like there is an element of Brady versus Bill type of aspect here, but I'm looking beyond that. Like I'm kind of looking at kind of like a broad spectrum here. Just like when Brady played Mahomes for the first time in the AFC Championship game, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, like we were talking about like a passing of the torch, like the passing of Tom Brady, the old, the leader of the NFL, champion, and passing that torch down to Patrick Mahomes, which we all thought, or, is a dynasty type of quarterback. But hindsight now, looking at it, and many people say the Kansas City Chiefs have digressed, take a few steps back, or people are learning out their offense, or something. This might be a passing of the torch of Tom Brady to Mac Jones. Like hey, I was in New England for 20 plus years. Now it's your time to shine, kid. Like, here's the passing of the torch, but let me whoop up on you one last time, and then let me ride off into the sunset. Do you see any aspect of that at all?
I don't see any of that because Mac Jones, there's no tie to Brady. I mean, one went to Alabama, one went to Michigan. They didn't overlap in terms of like being on the same team at the same time. And I really do feel like Brady has completely distanced himself from New England and kind of started this almost separate career that's separate from his New England career. So I don't think there's any sort of passing of the torch here. I do think that Mac Jones is the closest thing that we've seen to Tom Brady in terms of how he plays the game and the way that he approaches the game. But I don't think that the two of them have any sort of personal relationship, and I don't think that Tom feels any need to kind of quote-unquote pass the torch to him.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I definitely agree with that 100%. Like I was just saying, like as a Patriots fan, like how do you see that per se? Now, when people really sit back and look at this game here, and I actually just watched a Bill Belichick press conference. I don't know if it was from today or earlier in the week, but he basically said that he knows Tom Brady. He knows him inside and out. He was with him for 20 plus years, and he knows basically in a roundabout way. He said he basically knows how to shut him down. Do you think Bill Belichick knows how to shut him down? I mean, you said get pressure on him and revert to that short passing game. Is that what they're going to do?
Yeah, so I think if anybody in the NFL knows how to shut down Tom Brady, it would be Bill Belichick. Right. I mean, he's seen him more than anybody. When you say he said it in a roundabout way, knowing Bill, it would have to be an extremely roundabout way. Like he would never say anything to put bulletin board material up there.
This is the first time I've ever seen him kind of like blunt and to the point. Like this is the I don't know. It's kind of like a new build that I've never seen before. Honestly, I'll have to link you the interview.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that is the strategy. Is just when we've seen Brady struggle, even in those Super Bowl years in New England, he struggles when he's under pressure. Where he kills you is against a zone defense because he knows where every single hole in every single zone that's ever been designed or run is. And so the guys that do really well against Brady are guys like Rex Ryan, who are blitz happy. You know, they just keep you on your toes, and they play man to man. And the New England Patriots have been playing man to man defense more than any team in the NFL for the past 10 years. So that's what they do. And normally they'll drop those linebackers into coverage along with the man-to-man corners. But I think what you're going to see is Bill and that defense, Gerard Mayo, really like stepping up those blitzes with Uche and with especially Matt Judon, who's been a beast.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things that is also coming to my mind is Brady was with Belichick for 20 plus years, right? We keep emphasizing that 20 years. Do you think Brady is passing information onto the Bucks defense, like, hey, like when the offense says this, look for a slant route. Like if they tap their helmet twice, look for this. Like, do you think Brady is in their ear?
So that's interesting because, like you said, he's been in that offense for so long. I don't think Bill really has his hands, nor has he ever really had his hands on the offense. He's very defense-oriented, and that's why you can have a guy like Gerard Mayo who calls the defensive plays, but he's really just the linebackers coach. He's not a DC,
right? Because
Bill kind of runs that defense. But I think that Josh McDaniels and Brady have been together for a really long time. However, I will say this is that, and I've said it numerous times, Josh McDaniels is the greatest offensive mind in the history of the NFL. I mean, his offensive scheming is second to nobody, and I would be completely stunned if he did anything that tipped their hand.
That's a bold statement. The best offensive mind in all of NFL football.
Oh, wow. I mean, Bill Walsh, sure, but I'd put McDaniels ahead of him.
Well, you know, I mean, like I never got a chance to watch the West Coast offense back in their heyday by like any means. That was a little bit before my time, but you know, like. Let's keep it current day. I mean, you think he's better than Sean McVay out there in L.A. and Adam Gase when he was the offensive mastermind, right? Or Matt LaFleur, like all those guys?
Absolutely. Absolutely above all those guys. I can't even think of anyone who could really give him a run for his money as an offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And mainly because if you look at what he does year in and year out, and yes, he's had Tom Brady, but the way that he moves receivers and running backs and people around – I really feel like he puts every receiver in the offense in the best possible position to catch a football. And he puts the quarterback in the best position to read them in the order of which will be easiest to make that pass. It's just incredible the way that he uses the pieces. It's not so much the play calling, because you can say there's better play callers out there.
Right.
Like I said, it's just the way that he manipulates the pieces that he has to get what he gets out of them.
So do you think he is the head coach in waiting in New England, or is he perfectly happy just being the offensive coordinator there?
I think it's both, because Bill Belichick, and this was going to be one of my that's debatable, but I have enough of them. So it was basically that Bill Belichick, he wants to pass Don Shula. He hates Don Shula, but he's 48 victories behind him right now. So we're talking minimum 5 years. And so that means, is Josh McDaniels willing to sit as the offensive coordinator for the next 5 years in New England and then take over the team, or is he going to go somewhere else to be a head coach? I think he stays in New England. Why wouldn't you? You're comfortable with Bill. It's not about the pay, because they're paying him more than half the head coaches in the NFL. So, and they should be. And he's also tried running his own team, and it didn't really work out that well.
Yeah.
So I think that he waits in New England. So when Bill steps down, he's basically taking over a culture that's been developed over the last 3 decades. He doesn't have to go try to create that culture somewhere.
Right. And didn't he take the Vikings head coach job and then backed out of it last minute, or
Colts
job? So I mean, like, obviously, he's had opportunities, but he's just like, he backed out the last second. I don't know if Bill Belichick said something to him or not. But either way, guys, week 4, Patriots versus Bucks. The Bucks travel to Foxborough to take on Mac Jones and Bill Belichick. It is the Brady versus Bill Bowl. Wayne, you are taking the Patriots, and they are your team. So I think it kind of goes without saying. But what is your final score of this game?
2017. I don't think it's not going to come down to a last-second field goal. I would actually expect the Patriots to go up maybe 20-13 or 20-10, and then have Brady score a touchdown and try to make a comeback, but not quite succeed.
Huh. So you're kind of like predicting a defensive slugfest type of thing almost, right?
Yeah, I think Brady's going to have a really hard time. I don't think that the Bucs running game is good enough to beat New England, and I think they're going to shut Brady down.
Okay, well, you guys heard it here first. Wayne G says the Patriots are beating the Bucs. I'll give you my pick later in the show here, but I think it is going to be a grinded-out game. We're talking maybe 4 possessions each. Like, it would not surprise me if the Patriots keep the ball for 48 minutes, like in this game, just to keep the Buck offense off the field. But, guys, we are up against our first break here of the night. On the other side of the break, we got That's Debatable, brought to you by Wayne G himself and Infinity Sports. So, Wayne, tell people what That Debatable is all about before we head to break.
Absolutely. That's debatable. We're going to talk about a couple of topics that I happen to have feelings about that might be debatable, and we'll see how Buck feels about them, and maybe we'll go back and forth a little bit.
All right, guys. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour. Stay tuned. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse with Wayne G tonight from Infinity Sports, and it is time for That Is Debatable, or That's Debatable, not That Is Debatable. That's Debatable. That's like a triple negative or something. I don't know what that was, but I don't know. My mind's going elsewhere, bro. Ha now, Wayne. But That's Debatable, guys, is brought to you by Skull Candy Headphones. Link is in the description, so head over to skullcandy.com and get at least 20% off of your headphones. They range from $20 to $300. So whatever you're in the budget for, they are by far the best, the most comfortable headphones. I have them on right now, and they are very, very comfortable, and these are actually noise-canceling headphones. So when that ghost walks up behind me and taps me on the shoulder, I don't even know it's there until I see it in the camera. But Wayne, it is time for That's Debatable, and the floor is all yours, big guy. First things first, tell the people where they can find an Infinity Podcast.
Absolutely. So you can find us at Sports Infinity 5 on Twitter. That's the best way. We do have Infinity Sports Podcast on Instagram and Infinity Sports Podcast on Facebook, but Twitter at Sports Infinity 5 is the best way. And just like the Man Hour, we are part of the Belly Up Sports Network, although I am wearing my old RTF sweatshirt here, and something that's not debatable, 12 is greater than 9.
Funny thing is, I actually tuned into that show on Tuesday. It is just as bad as it was before then, so just throwing it out there. But 12 is greater than 9.
All right, so let's. This is going to be a fun one. Last week, I was dead wrong saying that the NFC West was going to go undefeated for the week. They did not, but I'm still going to double down here because that's just what I do. And there are 4 rookie quarterbacks starting this week. We've got Trevor Lawrence is going to be starting. We've got Justin Fields finally gets in the starting lineup, Mac Jones, and, of course, Zach Wilson. All 4 rookie quarterbacks are going to go 4-0. They're all going to win their games.
Oh, that right there is that is not going to happen whatsoever. Because first things first, the Jets are the worst team I've seen in a very, very long time. Worse than the 0-16 Lions. Worse than the 0-16 Browns. Hell, worse than the 1-15 Jets from last year. This team is not a very good team whatsoever. And if you guys have been watching the Power Rankings show, they've been dead last since week 1. So I mean, the Jets don't even have a chance, and I don't even know who they play off the top of my head. But Mac Jones probably has the best chance to win this week because he is on a Bill Belichick team, and Brady versus Bill. We just talked about that. But Fields and Trevor Lawrence, man, I don't see them winning either because the Detroit Lions are still a 10-6 capable team. I still think they're going to win the North. They're going to get hot, and I believe Justin Fields has a hurt throwing hand, so I'm not for sure how effective he can be with that hand either. So
yeah, it's like I said, it's debatable. I do, like I said, Mac Jones. I've already said I have the Patriots winning that game. The Jets are at home with the Titans. And I don't like the Titans, actually. I think they're a little overrated. I'm not a Tannehill fan. I'm not a Derrick Henry fan. So I think that I am a Saleh fan from the Jets. I think that he's a defensive guy. He's going to figure out a way to stifle that offense. And all the Jets really got to do is put up 10 points. I think Wilson can put up 10 points. He'll probably throw 4 picks, but he'll get 10 points. And I think 10-3, 10-7, the Jets get the win. And then, of course, Jacksonville playing tonight against the Bengals. And I think Trevor Lawrence, I love Joe Burrow, I do, but Joe Burrow is not going to win this game. Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're not going 0-17. They're going to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, they are much improved. I mean, we sat here on draft night, 6 months ago or however long it was ago, and we were basically ridiculing that they drafted a wide receiver, but somehow their old line improved much over the offseason. So I mean, is the game at Jacksonville? I can't remember.
Let's see. Jacksonville at Cincinnati.
So everything is not in your favor there, Wayne, because I believe it's 70% of the time the visiting team loses a road Thursday night game, and Trevor Lawrence, this is his first Thursday night game, short preparing week versus a Bengals defense that's kind of underrated. I mean, I don't know, man. I might give you the other 3 just because the Detroit Lions are not playing well right now, and they are 0-3. But Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know, man.
It's definitely it's stacked against me. My thing is that Trevor Lawrence has so much talent in the world. he's one of those guys that if you play in the NBA and you average 26 points a game, there's going to be those guys who score 11, 11, 11, 57.
Right.
And then 11, and this is going to be a 57 game for him. You know, he's going to get 11 most of the season, but this is going to be the night he goes out 340 yards, 3 touchdowns.
So you're saying the receivers are the ones that basically they're going to totally abandon the game on the ground and go simply through the air?
If I would, if I was them. I mean, James Robinson's a good receiver. But
Right.
You got DJ Chark.
Yeah.
You've got a good receiving core.
Yeah, they are definitely underrated as well. I mean, because those guys are easily number 2s on most teams. So I mean, it's definitely very debatable. But I'm saying they don't go 4-0. We'll see next week when you're on. We'll see if you're 0-2 or 1-1.
That's right. Had another Mount Rushmore one for this. I'm keeping it all football for you today because I knew it was just going to be you.
Perfect.
But Mount Rushmore, last week we did Mount Rushmore comedians. This week I'm giving you Mount Rushmore top 4 football players of all time. You got to carve their heads out there.
Ooh. When you say top 4 players, are you saying like the best, just simple players like on the field, or they shaped like the NFL to the way it is type of thing?
Yeah, I'd say however you want to do it. You're sculpting this mountain in the nation of football, the United States of football, and this is going to be the monument to football.
So I feel like when you want to make a statue or something or a monument, Mount Rushmore, you put up players, people that really change things. Maybe they're not the best, but they've changed the way things are. So first player I got to put up there is probably number 56 from the New York Giants. What is his name? His name's slipping my mind right now. Come on, help me out.
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. He changed the way linebacking was played in football. He was just a mean man, and they actually made rules to make him not so good. So to shape the future. So I'm going to have to put him on there, and then I would have to put Tom Brady because obviously he is the GOAT. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. 7 championships in 10 years or whatever it is, something ridiculous. He's probably going to play till he's 50. And when you spend over half of your life in the NFL, I mean, you're doing something right. Next up, man, does it have to be all players? Because I really want to put Jerry Jones on there just because Jerry Jones really shaped the way like the NFL marketed their stuff, because the Cowboys were just a dumpster fire. Then all of a sudden America's team, but I'm not going to do that. Man, let's probably put, thinking of receiver here, it's either got to be Jerry Rice or Randy Moss. I'm going to go with Jerry Rice just because he was the hardest worker. He was a 5th or 6th round pick from a Division II school, a staple of the dream. And then number 4, I got to put arguably the best running back of all time, Barry Sanders, up there.
All right. We're pretty close. I mean, basically, when I created my Mount Rushmore, and here's the funny thing about Mount Rushmore is they use this all the time, like the 4 best whatever is the Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the actual Mount Rushmore, yes, we got George Washington, maybe the greatest president of all time. You can argue that. Abraham Lincoln, another one, maybe the greatest president of all time. Roosevelt, one of the greatest presidents of all time. And then Thomas Jefferson. What the hell is he doing up there? I mean, he wrote the Constitution,
right? Yeah.
I mean, he wrote the Constitution, but he wasn't that great of a president. But I think that maybe he knew the builder or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always do the top 4, and so my top 4, I've got Brady, Jerry Rice, Lawrence Taylor, and my last one was Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, man, Deion Sanders, huh? Why would you put Deion Sanders up there? Like, what's the thought process behind that?
Because he played the game like nobody did before, and like nobody will or has since then.
Right.
Maybe other than Darrelle Revis. Revis is right in that category as well. Mm-hmm. But just where you can put him on an island on anybody. You could put him on Moss. You could put him on Jerry Rice. You could put him on Andre Rison at that time. Whoever, Isaac Bruce. Like Deion Sanders was going to hold your best receiver to like 2 or 3 receptions. And he had no help over the top. And then on top of that, he returned kicks. He was like one of the best kick and punt returners in the game. So I just think for what he did all around and the flash and the marketability, I think, he's on there. I thought it was funny when I made my list and you as well, that obviously we didn't think offensive line, like no offensive linemen, no safeties, no defensive linemen. I did think about Reggie White over Lawrence Taylor, but because I think Reggie White's actually a better defender.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, LT changed the game.
Right. Yeah. And like, I definitely agree with Deion Sanders there, just because like he was the first, just like you said, like the flash, the spunk, the everything. Plus, what was it, the 92 or 93 season, he played the offensive side of the ball, right? And like he was averaging 5 catches a game or something. Like, he was kind of an offensive threat. Like he wasn't there just to, be a guy. Like, they threw him the ball. So
a few times. I mean, I think it was 95 is when he played for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And they put him in there as kind of a gimmick play. He did catch a couple of balls, but I don't think there's ever been anyone that kind of just played legit both ways. I mean, I know Charles Woodson did a little bit in college. Same idea. Charles Woodson caught a few passes, but for the most part, he was a defensive back.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I thought it was funny when you're naming them off. I'm like, oh man, if he goes with Deion, we get the exact same 4. But you went with Barry, the other Sanders.
Yeah. I mean, like if I wouldn't have put Barry Sanders up there, I probably would have put like Emmitt Smith. I mean, I kind of feel like those two are kind of like a flip of the coin, because they both came to the league the same year, right?
No. So Barry was, I believe, 88, and Emmitt was 90.
Okay. So I mean, but they still hit their prime, in that the 92 or 93 season. I can't remember what season like it was when they're both chasing the 2,000 yard mark. But yeah, I mean, we are definitely spot on that. So that's not debatable.
And then I got a pop culture one, again, depending on how long this runs. I got pop culture. I always bring one of those. Obviously, we know what the Beatles did for music. I mean, the Beatles, their influence is felt even in rap music today. The Beatles were so influential, what they did. That said, my comment is, and I believe this wholeheartedly, the greatest rock group of all time is Queen.
Okay. And so, like, when I think of Queen, I mean, like, obviously they're a little bit before my time, but the only song I can know off the top of my head from Queen is "We Are the Champions." I mean, like,
We Will Rock You.
Well, okay, so they're who sing the Bohemian Rhapsody? Was that
that's
Queen
Queen.
too? Okay, so those are the 3 songs that really come to my head, and they are staples in basically every NFL stadium out there, right? We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, and Bohemian Rhapsody. But as far as the greatest rock group ever, man, shoot, man. Kiss. I mean, like, I think Kiss is probably the greatest, like, hair metal band from that era. I mean, because, like, they're still touring now, man. And, people from, like, 13-year-olds now to 85-year-olds are, like, at that concert knowing every song and just...
See, I feel about the same way about Kiss. So Kiss, I know, obviously, I Want to Rock and Roll, right, all night, party every day, or whatever. Hard Luck Woman. But that's it. I can't think of another Kiss song.
Like, I mean, like, obviously, I don't know a lot of Kiss songs off the top of my head, because, I'm not much of a metalhead type of person per se. But, man, I don't know. Man, like, it almost seemed like all the bands from that era kind of ended up sounding the same almost, but like, I feel like Kiss had the most notoriety, so people would know Kiss more than Queen, because they had the Tongues and Gene Simmons with this TV show and everything else. And
yeah, they're more theatric.
Yeah.
But I just look at, again, when you look at Queen, selling out Wembley Stadium, and I mean, we're talking, 150,000 people,
right?
And I mean, they were a show. Like, you went to, like, from miles away to go see Queen, and I just feel like, Kiss, I understand they're the show too. They got pyrotechnics and they have the face makeup and stuff,
right?
But that's the sell. Like, you're going to see the show. With Queen, the show was Freddie Mercury's showmanship. It was the singing, like the combined opera with rock, and it was just unique. I mean, my favorite Kiss Queen song of all time is actually "Fat Bottom Girls." I think that's a great song.
Oh, I forgot about that song. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just a rock group, and so, like, when you went to go see them, you went for the music. I feel with Kiss, you're going for the music / show, and that's why I put Queen up there a little bit more. Like the Beatles, it was all music. They were kind of like a boy band.
Yeah.
But like their really, really good music didn't come out until they started doing acid and stuff like that. So I just feel like, again, I'm going with Queen. I'm saying they're the best rock group of all time. I feel like it's debatable because most people are going to pick the Beatles.
Yeah. Well, is Beatles really considered rock though?
Oh yeah, of course.
Are they? Okay. And now, if I were to call on my dad, he would probably throw something off the wall like, I don't know, like Avenged Sevenfold or something. I don't know, but like he was, he grew up in that hair metal era, and he was in a rock band. So actually, fun fact, guys, did you guys know that Nana was in a rock band too? So
I did not know that.
So Nana was a singer in a rock band. So we were talking. She's coming on for a segment on Sunday, and she's like, and I'm like, hey, like, are you camera shy or like anything? And she's like, no, I was in a rock band. I was a singer. Give me the mic and I'm good to go. It's like, okay, Nana, all right, you gained some cool points there. But I don't think you can go wrong with Queen at all, though. I mean, I love a lot of Queen songs and. There are sometimes when you hear songs on the oldies station, like when you're cruising, you don't understand, like you don't know that like that's Queen or that's Kiss or So like I feel like there's a lot of Queen songs out there that are like that. So I would give you Queen just because of Fat Bottom Girls. I forgot that was Queen and I do like that song. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, a lot of good songs. I think that. They're in that new commercial too, where you can like create videos on your iPhone, whatever. It's like "Don't Stop Me Now."
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was a Queen song. And then "Love of My Life" is such a great ballad, a rock ballad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, if you put together Queen's greatest hits, I would put that up against the Beatles' greatest hits any day.
Yeah, I'm honestly, Wayne, I'm not a Beatles fan. Like there are a few songs that like I'll bob my head to, but I am not going to go out of my way to pull up my Spotify and type the word Beatles. That's just not. But like Queen, I'll search for Queen. I'll search for Kiss. I'll search for Kansas or Alabama or whoever. But yeah, I mean, I give you Queen, man. You definitely won that debate. I mean, there's not really that debatable, but yeah, Queen's good.
Yeah,
I like Queen.
I do have. I mean, it's up to you. I got more. I didn't know that. I didn't want to run up against the segment, the commercial break for you.
We got about five more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, so let's see. I got. All right, so this one we'll try to keep it quick. Then this one's a movie one. This one came up, another pop culture one came up on Twitter. Got into a huge debate. I mean, like a 45 comment debate here on this one.
Love those.
Which is it had 4 pictures. It said one of them you have to throw away their entire catalog. It never existed, and it's Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Downey Jr.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's what I said, and it wasn't even hard for me.
Yeah,
I said RDJ. I'm not throwing out the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm just not doing that. And then obviously Tom Hanks and Denzel. I mean, everything they're in is gold.
Yeah.
As like so, and then Leo might be the best actor of the 4. I just don't like his catalog.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not a Leo fan by any means, but the only movie that comes to my mind is Titanic, and I think Titanic was highly overrated. To be honest.
It's a love story. I mean, it's not something that guys really love. But I mean, if you see Wolf of Wall Street, that's guys' version of Titanic. Like that's all testosterone in that movie.
Right. I actually haven't seen it. We're actually going to watch it tomorrow night after the game. So.
Oh, it's they actually this movie I think broke the record. Goodfellas had the record for the most F-bombs in a movie, and Wolf of Wall Street like doubled it.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah, we are watching Wolf of Wall Street tomorrow and the Britney versus Spears documentary on Netflix.
Ooh,
Friday night's packed, man.
I'm rooting for her over her dad. I mean, screw those parents that like take their kids' money.
But yeah, I mean, if you take out Denzel Washington, think about the movies that you're going to take out. Remember the Titans, like, I mean, the list goes on and on and on for them.
Crimson Tide. I mean, there's so many good movies.
Who were people saying on Twitter?
RDJ.
Really?
And like I said, and I understand, and I get it. Like, really, if you took away the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what's he got? The Pickup Artist, Chaplin. I think he won best actor for.
Yeah.
Johnny Be Good, Weird Science. But like he hasn't really done a lot other outside of Marvel. But I'm a Marvel head, so I'm sorry, I'm just not getting rid of the whole. And if you got rid of him, you really are getting rid of the whole universe.
Yeah. So did anybody say anything between those two? Because if somebody threw out Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump. Or Castaway, something's wrong with them.
No, I think it came down to most people. I think were picking RDJ, and then there were people taking Denzel out.
Really?
Yeah, nobody was taking. Leo. Everyone was kind of like, "Oh no, Leo's an amazing actor." I'm like, "Yeah, Leo is an amazing actor, but I mean, are you really going to sit down with your buddies and watch Shutter Island? I mean, The Beach. It's like these are crap movies."
I don't think me and my wife would sit down and watch most of his movies, to be honest with you. But, you know, I could be wrong. I mean, I am married, so I'm always wrong, right? Well, one more, Wayne.
One more. Okay, it's fine. Last one I got. This one's going to be close to your heart because I know that you're a big political guy. I know I like a little politics as well. It's always fun to mix it up. And then you talk about debatable. Anything politics is debatable, right?
Exactly.
So I had the NBA is at 95% vaccinated right now. The NFL is at 93%. And so my statement that I had here is that basically anybody who's refusing to get vaccinated simply for the purposes of not wanting to be told what to do are just big fat babies.
Yeah, I mean, did you read the tirade that Kyrie Irving's doing? Like, he's liking all these controversial or the conspiracy stuff where they're taking, like, the black athletes' DNA and putting them in a supercomputer or something to that effect. But I was led to believe, because this is a very debatable topic, and I believe it was our president said that if 80% of the people in the world get vaccinated, we'll have herd immunity, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if 93% of the NBA, or you said 97% of the NBA is vaccinated, right? If 97 of the NBA is vaccinated, that's herd immunity, or how you say the word. But
yeah,
like, I mean, like, maybe I just don't want to go out of my way to go get a shot. Like I'm not for it. I'm not against it. It is out of my way to go get a shot. And, you know, I mean, the NBA in particular has been very political on some stances. So who is the commissioner? Stern, right?
No, Stern died years ago. It's Adam Silver.
Oh yeah, that's right. Adam Silver. So Adam Silver has basically said to players, like, without saying it, is like, hey, you support your views, you push them. You know, the Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd, when the Bucks walked out of the playoff game, right? When they were in the bubble. So Silver is giving them the right to make this platform. So I'm staring this particularly in the NBA. Why are they throwing such a big fit when we do everything else politically, but when you want to make a political stand that doesn't follow their suit, all of a sudden you are bad? So, I mean, like, I don't know about that. I mean, it just, they're not big babies per se, but like I said last night, if your job is requiring you to get it to work, just go get it. Like, you know, like I guess
that's what I'm saying.
Stop being a baby. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, like, these people who have health issues that maybe there's something in it that they're allergic to or whatever. I get that. Obviously that's fine. Yeah. You know, there are people that they say that some people have religious, that I haven't heard of a religion that's really against it, but people are claiming that. So that's fine as well, I guess. But then when it comes down to, like, well, why aren't you getting it? It's like, because I'm not going to be told what to do. I'm like, well, welcome to adulthood. We get told what to do every day. So
yeah. I mean, like, so I actually have a guy at work that, so I believe it's October 8th, we have to get vaccinated or we are losing our jobs. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They gave us like a month heads up, like, hey, go get your shot. And he is just absolutely refusing to do it, and he is threatening to, like, sue them and all this. It's absolutely stuff. It's basically him saying, I don't want to be told what to do. But his thing is it's not a vaccine. It is a shot that mutates your genes or something like that. Like, I don't know the science behind all that crap. Like, I didn't even read into it. My wife told me to go get it, so I got it. So, I mean, like it is what it is. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, can people tell you what to do, like without getting all butthurt about it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, this is a vaccine that has been deemed a vaccine and has been approved by the FDA, you know, as a vaccine. It's no longer an experimental emergency thing. It's FDA approved.
Yeah.
You know, so it's gone through the testing. And they've been testing this, too, because people are like, oh, they just came out with it so fast. They've been testing it since H1N1 came out. Like, this is just a variant of that.
Yeah.
And so they've been working on this vaccine for a long time. And it does meet all the criteria. And I think what happened was, it's not about health. It's not about health at all. It's not about whether you're going to get sick from COVID, and it's not about whether you're going to get sick from the shot. What it's about is one side of the aisle saying we don't like it, and the other side of the aisle saying we do like it, and just whoever I align myself with, I have to shout with those guys. And I've taken the stance that, listen, I got mine. That was my decision, right? I'm not going to preach for somebody to get theirs, but I don't want them preaching to me about how it's bad either. Let's just both just do whatever we want to do. And then, like you said, when it comes to employers do have the right to mandate the vaccinations. Just like if you weren't vaccinated for smallpox, you wouldn't be allowed to go to work.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing with school, right? I mean, you have to have a record of vaccines to go to school. I mean,
exactly.
Like, what's the difference now, right? Just follow it. But anyways, that is our debatable talks for tonight. As Wayne, as always, man, thank you for joining us every Thursday right here on the Man Hour at 8:30 East Coast time. But you were here extra long, 45 minutes worth tonight. So before I let you go, man, tell the people where they can find you, subscribe to you, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Like I said, Facebook and Instagram, Infinity Sports Podcast. But if you want to interact with us, Twitter at SportsInfinity5.
And guys, I do have that in the description here in the youtube.com/Man Hour. And I also tweeted today. Yeah, I tweet sometimes, a little bit of tweet, bird thing. But Wayne, thanks for joining us, man. Guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour.